Hey everyone, just your weekly reminder that down in the description below is a link to register to vote, places to donate, petitions to sign, and Black Lives Still Matter. Alright, so you guys already read the title, you know what's going down this week. We're going to be talking about things that irritate me, aka my biggest pet peeves, and the list is long. I get irritated really easily, so grab yourself a snack, because it's going to be a minute.
What? Yay!
So before we start, I want to make a very
large disclaimer
that I would never call someone out on these things if they did them, like around me or to me, unless they were like a really close friend or like family member or Alexandria, then I would tell them that it was annoying me.
If you come at me on some disrespectful and you're within arm's reach, anybody can get slapped.
But if there's like a stranger that does one of these pet peeves, like I'm just gonna internally like die for a second. But I would never be like, can you stop that or something? Because I'm like not a mean person at all. But I do get annoyed like every human. I get annoyed like very easily. It's a little confusing because I'm like a very laid back person, but at the same time, like internally, I get annoyed by a lot of things.
You better fucking fix this shit right now! I literally am gonna die!
But this is a list of my biggest pet peeves, which are things that like anytime someone does it, like I shut down for a second. And I have to like take a second and be like... And if it's someone that I personally know and I'm close with, I'm gonna be like... Can you not? Also, disclaimer, I don't want to seem like a very complaining, like ranting person, which is why I don't usually make videos like this where I'm complaining and ranting, because it's a very negative energy. But I also want to give you guys an insight to like what irritates me, like, and try and be funny about it. So don't take any of this like too seriously. Like, it's not things that like ruin my day or anything. It's just like small little things that irritate me. I'm not like a bitter person, okay? Don't take this as me like bashing anybody, okay? If you do any of these things, that's fine. Just don't do them around me. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started with number one. I'm not going in order of like ranking these on like what annoys me the most, but the first thing that came to mind, which is like my number one big no, when someone tells me what to do. Like, I don't know if that's like a pride thing or something, but I just do not like being told what to do. And it's not even like in a way that I'm like rebellious or something. It's that I have such a strong work ethic and I'm like very disciplined. So I know what I need to do and how I need to do it. And I don't need someone telling me what to do. Like, I guess like an exception to this would be like someone that needs to, like a boss at work or something. But if you're just like on the same level as me, don't tell me what to do. I hate being told what to do, like by anybody. All of my family, friends, Alexandria, everybody knows not to tell me what to do. And if you ask them like what my number one pet peeve is, they would definitely tell you that's the answer. I do not like being told what to do. And I feel like that sounds really bad, but it's just because like I'm already gonna do it. Like you don't need it. You don't even need to worry about it. Like it's been on my schedule for a week now. It's okay. Which brings me to an extension of this for pet peeve number two, which is don't tell me what to do if I'm already about to do it, or if I'm already doing it. Like if I just have something in my schedule and I'm planning to do it that day and someone's like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, I was already going to. Now I don't want to. Pet peeve number three, I really cannot stand when I'm like telling someone something and they're overly agreeing with me like while I'm talking and they're just saying like, yeah, overly giving me that while I'm talking. It's kind of like you're like trying to shut me up. Let's pretend that you asked me how to edit a video and I tell you the steps for it, right? So I'm like, first you need to import your video from your SD card, and like throughout that sentence, you're just like, okay, and like, you don't need to give me all that feedback. Just like listen for a second, and then if you have questions after I'm done, then you can stop. But like, I hate being rushed when I'm talking and someone just like constantly be like, okay, okay, yeah, like.
Stop saying all of that for a second and listen to what I'm saying.
It's just a part of being a good listener, which is also another pet peeve that I have that I don't even have on my list, but bonus pet peeve is when people don't listen well. Being a good listener is a very valuable and underappreciated skill, in my opinion. Like, I'm such a good listener. A way to be a good listener, tip from me, is to just be completely silent and take in what someone's saying to you. Make little mental notes, make a list in your head of questions you want to ask afterwards, and then just be like, okay, so back to what you said at the very beginning of that. I had a question about blah, blah, blah. Address the points of what they're saying, because most likely when someone's explaining something to you, they will answer your questions if you just let them finish their thought and sentence. Quietly listen, just close the mouth and just soak in the knowledge, okay? If you would just wait a second, I was actually gonna say that, so hold your horses, sweetheart. You guys are gonna hate me at the end of this video. Like, I sound like such an awful person. I'm just like, again, I would never vocalize this to anyone. This is literally just like my internal thoughts that I'm sharing to the internet filled with a lot of people. Pet peeve number 4, this one's a little weird and only specific to me. Like, I'm sure no one can agree with this, but I hate wearing glasses in general, which I need when I don't have contacts. Like, they help me see and not get headaches, but I hate wearing glasses and eating food. Like, please comment down below and let me know that I'm not crazy.
She's crazy.
And you have this pet peeve too, because I feel very alone. Like, I hate eating with glasses on. Like, it irritates my soul. I have to take my glasses off before I eat anything because, like, I just don't like them being in my face while I'm like putting stuff in my mouth. It's so distracting. I'm crazy that that's a pet peeve of mine, but please someone agree with me out there. I can't be the only one. No, I probably am. Okay, moving on. Pet peeve number 5 doesn't happen that often, but I really can't stand when people wear flip-flops or sandals and they like drag their feet. Like, they don't like walk with them, they just like slide with them on. That sound irritates me. Yeah, that's a random one. That's a pet peeve of mine though. Pet peeve number 6, I really like cringe at the sound of people eating cereal, because like when they get like a spoonful, they'll like eat the cereal and then they'll like slurp up the milk, and it makes a very awful, it's like the sound of people like scratching their nails on a chalkboard. I cannot stand the sound of people slurping their milk. I also hate the sound of people snoring too at any time of the day. It's not even when I'm trying to sleep, which I hate. Like, at any time of the day, like I could hear snoring right now and be irritated. I don't like the sound of snoring, and I think it's because it's like such an inconsistent sound. It just bothers me. I know a lot of people have issues with like people eating foods in general, and I really don't mind listening to people eat food. Like, it doesn't bother me. But people eating cereal though, there's something about that slurping of the milk that just like, Pet peeve number 7, I really hate when people hold the door for me, but I'm like 8 yards away. I mean, thanks, I guess, but it's a nice gesture.
But just don't.
It's not even hard for me to pull the door open. I don't struggle with doing that. I don't need you to hold it for me. I can open it like you opened the door for yourself. I can do it too. The only time that it's acceptable to hold the door for me is if I'm like right behind you. Then it would be rude if you did it. But if I'm down, I don't want to run up to you, because now you're like ruining my day where I have to change how I'm walking to catch up to you because you decided to do something nice for me, but all I did was inconvenience me. So if you're someone that does that, just stop. Just don't hold the door for people unless they're standing directly behind you, in which case you don't want to slam the door on them. Number 8 is an extension of the last one. Okay, let's say that you did hold the door for me and I was super far away. If I get up and say thank you, say something back. Say, you're welcome. Say, say, say something, acknowledge me. I cannot stand when I say thank you and they don't say anything. And even worse, they make a face at me like I inconvenienced you. No one asked you to do that for me. And I'm not crazy, because this has happened to me multiple times. Like, someone has held the door for me and I've run up to catch up to them, and then I say thank you, and then they'll just like look at me.
Like I was the problem for them. You did not have to do that.
I guess in general, if I say thank you, acknowledge that or something. Don't just stare at me, you weirdo. I literally have had many encounters of saying thank you to people and they just look at me like that's such a foreign thing to say. Thank you, you say you're welcome or something. Very easy. Don't just stare at someone. That's weird. Number 9, I'm sure happens to all of us. I hate when I'm trying to exit, but someone's like casually just like cruising in your blind spot, but they don't like speed up or slow down. So then you have to like make the choice if you're gonna like speed up to 90 to like exit, or if you're gonna like slam on your brakes so you can go behind them. They'll just like follow in your blind spot the entire time. Like, move out of the way. You're trying to cause an accident. Like, you know you're in my blind spot. Like, move up some, slow down or speed up. I gotta exit though. That's common sense right there. But it happens almost every time I drive. Number 10 is really funny to me because it's like, it's so irrational for it to be a pet peeve of mine, but it is. That like when I go to a 24-hour store like Walmart or Winco or something, and it's like 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. It's like technically AM, but like the workers will say good morning to you as you walk in.
Have a good day. Don't tell me what to do.
Like, you had to have known that my day isn't over yet. Like, I haven't been to sleep yet. I didn't get up at 3 a.m. and come to the store. Like, I'm still wearing the clothes that I went out in. Like, you know my night is still going on. I don't know why that bothers me so much, but like, don't tell me good morning. It might be your morning, your weird ass early hour morning, but I haven't been to sleep yet. If you're an overnight worker, don't tell people good morning, okay? Just say hi. Number 11, I have a huge problem with people that overly give their opinion on everything and they feel they need to share it to everyone because everyone cares. And usually on this channel I give my opinion about a lot of things. Like right now I'm giving my entire opinion about pet peeves, but this is different because this is like in a structured element. But if you're just ranting on Facebook about your opinion on everything, it's a little annoying. Or even in person, like, oh, I don't like that because, oh, I don't think, like, just keep it in. Like, you don't gotta vocalize every opinion, okay? You do not need to let everyone know everything that you think about something. It's not necessary. Like, some things can be left inside and the world will still spin. Like, it did not need to be shared, okay? Okay, number 12, if I was ranking these in order, this would have been like number 2. I cannot stand when I'm showing something to someone, whether it be like a movie or a song or something, and they talk through the entire thing and don't pay attention. Like, for example, if I'm showing you like a quick YouTube video or something that's like 4 minutes long and you get on your phone during that time, you ruined everything and I want to turn it off. First of all, if it's something short like a YouTube video, you can dedicate 4 minutes of your life to just watch this because I cared enough to show it to you, and you're being rude.
You're rude!
You're being disrespectful.
You're disrespectful!
And it's going to stop.
And you're going to stop!
And then I hate when I'm showing people music and they talk through the entire thing. Like, you just missed my favorite part, you missed my favorite lyric, you did not absorb the song the way I wanted you to because you talked through the entire thing. Thank you very much. I'm gonna take all of my stuff back and you don't get to enjoy anything from me ever again because you ruined it for yourself. Which is what I say inside my head, but in reality I'm just like, okay, I'm never gonna show them anything again. So, huge disclaimer, if you ever wanna be my friend, make sure to pay attention when I show you, okay? Number 13, when people stare at me, like, I understand I'm beautiful. Like, I get it, like, I'm a very attractive person to look at. But like, you know, like sometimes it's like really hard, like being like going out in public and like I just like can't go anywhere because like everyone just like wants to take pictures with me. It's a lot. Bro, when I do go to stores though, like it's mainly older people too that just stare at me. And like I have no problem staring back either, so we'll be locking eyes as we like exchange. And I just don't know what it is. I don't know why. Like, I can understand like when I have colored hair or like interesting hair choices. Like when my hair was red, I got a lot of stares, but I would just stare at people back. Like older people gotta know that like staring at people is rude. Like I feel like a lot of younger people don't do that, except for babies. Babies are weird too, staring. Don't let your baby stare at me, that's weird. I'm not a caged animal in a zoo, like stop staring at me. Number 14 is when people ask you, can I ask you a question? You just did. And like when I was younger, that really used to scare me. Like when people would ask me that, I'd be like, oh my god, it's about to get serious. But now I just like, I genuinely don't care. I feel like I'm such an open book now. Literally anyone can ask me anything and I'll probably answer it. And like 90% of the time I'll answer it on a camera and upload it to YouTube. So now that doesn't scare me.
But it does irritate me.
Because it's just like cut to the chase. Like you don't need to prepare me or anything. Just like straight up ask me that crazy question. It doesn't bother me. Can I ask you a question? It's just like, get ready because I'm gonna ask you a question that's kind of uncomfortable. Like just shoot, just go ahead, send that question. Okay, number 15 is a little complicated and it doesn't happen that often, but I hate like when I do complain about something. And let's say for example, I say, man, I only have $10, like that sucks. And someone out of nowhere will be like, oh, well, I only have $5, so be grateful, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, cool, we're both broke. Like, why are you trying to one-up my complaint? That's the pet peeve of mine, when people try to one-up a complaint. Yes, everyone is going through different things. Everyone has their own problems, but that does not invalidate your problem. Like, granted, yes, like none of us privileged people should be complaining about anything, but I'm not even talking about privilege or anything. I'm literally just talking about small things, like me complaining about like, oh, the weather's so hot here, and someone be like, well, yeah, well, it's 300 degrees on Mars, so like be grateful for that because you're not living on Mars. I'm like, okay, but I can still be hot here. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about something big like me complaining about like people getting privileges for like disabilities and stuff. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm just talking about very small scale complaints and people trying to like change it into something else. I hope that made sense because I don't know how else to explain it. Number 16 is really minor and it was a huge thing when I was younger, but I cannot stand the sound of clocks ticking. Ticking on clocks is very irregular. It's kind of not in a pattern, even though it like clicks every second, but like something about it sounds really weird to me and I can't stand it. And I haven't been around a clock that ticks in a very long time. Thank God, I'd probably go crazy. But I remember when I was younger, my grandma had this clock in her guest bedroom where we would spend the night sometimes and I couldn't sleep. She would remove the clock every time I spent the night because I could not sleep in there because I can't. First of all, when I sleep, it has to be complete silence or I need to have like white noise of some kind. So I always sleep with like a loud fan on or I'll listen to like a rain song or something. But like if I'm hearing snoring or ticking of clocks, I'm not gonna be able to sleep, and it's a pet peeve of mine when I hear ticking of clocks, even if I'm not trying to sleep, just during regular days. Like at school, like if we're taking a test and I just hear, I hate that. 2020, no more analog. Is it analog? No more analog clocks 2020. All digital. Okay, I probably should have saved a better one for my last one, but number 17 is really dumb for me and it's mainly only a problem that I have with Alexandria because we're like the only people that like we drive each other's car, but I cannot stand the fact that she does not have that light on whenever you open the car door, like no lights will turn on, and that bothers my entire soul because like I can't see anything when I'm getting in the car. Like, especially like when I get somewhere and I like open the car door and like I have like groceries or something, like I want the light to come on so I can see where the bag is. But instead I have to use the flashlight on my phone and then I'm just like struggling trying to carry everything with my flashlight. It's just so much easier and convenient to open the car door and the lights automatically turn on. But she has this like weird logic that her car battery is gonna die because she's gonna forget to turn it. But if you leave it on that setting, it will always turn off whenever you shut the door. We fight about this every time that we drive each other's cars. It's such a bad thing, but she prefers just to turn the light on and then grab her stuff and then turn it off and then shut the door, and it's so much more work. And that is something I will be vocal about in anyone's car. That can be a stranger's car. I'm gonna be like, why don't you have the thing on? Like there's literally no reason not to have it on. I probably should have done 20 of these to make it an even number, right? Well, I can't think of any more, so we're gonna end the list on 17. I'm sorry that it was an odd number. What a weird way to end it. Ooh, I feel like such an angry person right now because I literally combined everything that annoys me into one sitting. If you're someone who does all 17 of those in person, make sure to like never meet me because I think I would explode. And I hope this wasn't your first video watching me, otherwise you're gonna think I'm an awful person. So please go watch my other videos because I promise I'm not this miserable and complaining all the time. But yeah, if you guys are new to my channel and you wanna watch me be not so miserable next week, make sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below. I make new videos every Saturday, which means that you get a new video every single Saturday. Also comment down below what your biggest pet peeves are. Give this video a big thumbs up and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Door and the lights on, which this fly, you.
I remember thinking,
oh,
I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Run.